greatest ever footballers on one hand and a small Scottish city on the other, worlds apart you'd think. Home to 165,000, Dundee is located midway up the east coast of Scotland and has up to now been traditionally known for its three J's: jute, jam and journalism. But now one of the city's two Scottish Premier League teams, Dundee FC, has been keeping journalists busy for an altogether different reason. Last October, Claudio Caniggia stunned the football world when he's persuaded to move to this modest club, who were last Scottish champions in 1962. Caniggia's close friend and Dundee's coach Ivano Bonetti convinced the Argentine that the city and the club had something to offer.
There are many interesting things to do here. The team is improving all the time. It is difficult for a Latino to live here, but I personally haven't had any real problems. I've got used to it. I'm no longer a boy. He's played in World Cups, and I know him very well. He's in very good shape, and he can offer Dundee a lot. Nobody really expected him to come here, but the reality is that Dundee is a club that is going places.
Caniggia's impact after arriving from Italy was immediate. 5 goals in his first 6 games. It was this explosive start that convinced many, including the local media, that at 34, Caniggia's hunger for the game was still as strong as ever.
We always thought he would be a very good player. It was just interesting to see what kind of impact he would have. But you know, you watch other players and they can struggle to settle in here. He's as well as being very skillful, he's actually a very hard-working player, and that did surprise me a wee bit.
The interest in Caniggia's move has been staggering. Since his arrival, season ticket sales and attendances have seen a sharp increase. £50,000 worth of Dundee shirts bearing Caniggia's name have been sold, while Dundee's games are now regularly transmitted live to South America. The striker has also had the honour of having a cartoon in the locally produced Beano comic bestowed upon him, albeit under the guise of Claudio Pozzarello. All in all, Caniggia fever has taken over.
The impact's been quite amazing. People do sort of wonder where will it stop. You know, you've got a cartoon in the Beano, somebody who looks extremely like him. It seems to go on and on and on.
Caniggia first came to prominence at the 1990 World Cup finals with Argentina. His winner against Brazil in the quarter-finals was followed by a goal against the host Italy that helped take his teammates to the final, which they lost against West Germany. Again present in Argentina's team at USA 94, 4 years later in France, he was ignored by then-coach Daniel Passarella because of his long hair.
I wasn't involved in the World Cup of '98, but I really think I should have been there. To wear the Argentine shirt is something special. I don't lose sleep about it, but I'd like to play for Argentina once again.
On the club front, Caniggia triumphantly returned to Argentina and Boca Juniors in 1995 after 6 seasons in Italy with Verona, Atalanta and Roma. And it was during his time at Boca that he was reunited with close friend Diego Maradona. However, given Maradona's recent well-publicised problems, he's unsurprisingly very protective of his compadre.
He's undoubtedly one of my best friends in football. I seldom see him, but when I do, we get on well. But I don't really like talking about Diego, at least not in public, because if you want to talk about him, talk to him directly.
Like Maradona, Caniggia too has had his ups and downs. In 1993, whilst at Roma, he was infamously banned from playing for 1 year after being found guilty of cocaine abuse. It's a period that covers the gaps on his footballing CV.
All those years, 90, 91, 92, then I didn't play for that 1 year. 95, 96, 97, they were all good years for me.
Caniggia's current quest for success sees him joined by 2 fellow Argentines, 6 Italians and 1 Georgian. The club has a decidedly cosmopolitan feel, However, home-based players like Gavin Ray are quick to rebut suspicions that Caniggia has come to Scotland for an inflated pay packet and an easy ride.
The main thing for me was just seeing how hard he still works at his own game. I mean, he's done everything in the game, World Cups, etc., scoring and that, but he just works hard all the time. So, I mean, that's good to see. It's obviously just proves how much a superstar he is.
Caniggia's appearance in a Dundee shirt meant that the club's recent derby against their more traditionally successful city rivals and 87 UEFA Cup finalists Dundee United was the first complete sellout at Dens Park in 11 years. Caniggia's popularity with the Dundee faithful was there for all to see.
He's one of the best players that Dundee ever got, and it's just brilliant for the club.
It's such a good thing for the club, and it's got all this publicity. It's just absolutely brilliant.
The Dundee derby may have been a million miles away from the more glamorous clashes he's experienced in Buenos Aires or Rome, but the manner in which Caniggia started this game suggested that was far from his mind. Caniggia's undoubted class shone through on this cold, late January night. But despite the endeavours of Caniggia, it was United's Hugh Davidson who put the visitors, the league's bottom team, ahead on 34 minutes. With half-time approaching though, Caniggia struck. The Argentines bundle in Javier Artero's cross to bring the scores level. But just a minute after the break, Craig Easton counts to restore the visitors' lead. 2-1 United. Caniggia came close to equalising once again midway through the second half, but it was to be neither his nor Dundee's evening. A third United goal sealed victory late in the game. Dundee had lost further ground. But what of Caniggia? Is he just passing through, or will he stick it out in Dundee?
For the moment, I've signed a contract for 2 years, so I'm definitely going to play another 2 years here. But as to where I'll finish my footballing career, I've never really asked myself. I just don't know.
Supremacy in Scotland may be out of reach for Dundee. For now, though, the fans are basking in a little South American sunshine, courtesy of their very own Argentine superstar.